On September 3rd, during the live military parade in Beijing, something unexpected happened. As cameras rolled and global media streamed the event, an open mic captured a candid exchange between three of the world's most powerful men, Xi Jinping, Putin, and Kim Jong-un. But it wasn't about strategy or security. It was about longevity and organ transplants. So what just happened, and why does it matter? Xi Jinping joked, 70 is young these days, to which Putin replied, and this was caught clearly on the live feed. He said, human organs can be continuously transplanted. The longer you live, the younger you become, and you can even achieve immortality. Xi Jinping then replied, people say we might live to 150 this century. It sounded like casual banter, but it sent shockwaves across international media because of the context. Welcome to China Decoded. I'm Eric Chen. Let's connect the dots. In China today, a shadow hangs over countless families. Young people are vanishing, and when some are finally found, their bodies tell a horrifying story. Take the case of a student Hu Xinyu. He disappeared without a trace. When he was eventually discovered, his organs were gone. And people are asking, is this how China's ruling elites chase longevity? Is this how they buy themselves time by harvesting the lives of the young and by targeting Falun Gong practitioners whose only crime is living by truthfulness, compassion, and tolerance? But here's the even darker twist. Those who dare to blow the whistle rarely survive. Luo Shuaiyu was a medical intern at the Xiangya Hospital. He exposed the hospital's underground organ transplant business. No longer after, he was dead. Officially unexplained, but his parents released recordings he left behind that accused the authorities directly of running an organ trade in the shadows. And to his family, the message was chilling clear. Their son had been silenced. So the question remains, how many more lives will be consumed in this hidden economy of death? And what price are China's leaders willing to pay for their so-called immortality? This wasn't the first time organ transplants have intersected with high politics in China. In 2024, the King of Malaysia, Sultan Ibrahim, personally thanked Xi Jinping for a special arrangement that allowed his son to receive a liver transplant in China. That son sadly passed away, but the gesture itself was revealing. Another Malaysian politician reportedly received a kidney transplant in China, while a senior Kazakh official was also treated in the Chinese military hospital, with the entire transplant process complete in under 1 month. In most countries, these procedures can take years. So, how is China able to offer this kind of speed, especially to foreign dignitaries? Organ diplomacy. Over the past decade, China has pushed initiatives like the Health Silk Road and the Community of Shared Future for Mankind. These are officially framed as public health diplomacy. But look closer, and you will find multiple international summits, like the 2023 Organ Donation Conference in Guangxi, promoting Belt and Road organ transplant cooperation. In other words, China isn't just offering infrastructure, it's offering organs. So here's the question. Are these transplants becoming tools of soft power? Let's look inside the system itself. China's leading transplant institutions, like the PLA 301 hospital, operating under military jurisdiction. According to whistleblowers, when military hospitals get involved, civilian organ allocation systems step aside. One former doctor told Radio Free Asia that over half of all transplants in China are handled by military institutions. These facilities include so-called VIP wards that serve senior Communist Party officials and foreign elites. Back in 2019, a controversial initiative known as the 981 Project was quietly promoted online. It outlined a three-tier program for extending the lives of top Chinese leaders, with the stated target lifespan of 150 years. That information has since disappeared from Chinese websites. But the question lingers, where are all these organs coming from? International medical bodies have long questioned the integrity of China's transplant system. One of the biggest red flags, the waiting times. In many Western countries, patients can wait 3 to 5 years for a compatible organ. But in China, transplant surgeries for liver or kidney can reportedly happen within weeks, sometimes days. The BMJ Medical Ethics Journal and independent tribunals have raised alarm bells. A 2019 tribunal in London concluded, beyond a reasonable doubt, that forced organ harvesting had occurred in China, particularly targeting detained minority groups. Some analysts point to a disturbing pattern, a sharp rise in transplants coincided with political crackdowns, including the persecution of religious group Falun Gong and mass detentions in Xinjiang. In 2023, China introduced a so-called new law on organ donation, emphasizing monitoring and prohibiting the sale of organs. But the law may be doing the opposite, legalizing ambiguity. Some Chinese smartphones come with preset organ donor toggles, and users may never know they have agreed. Meanwhile, up to 8 million people disappear in China each year, according to official data. The actual number is said to be much higher. Let that sink in when you combine wait times, military-run hospitals, and opaque legal frameworks. What kind of system does that describe? Let's come back to the original incident. A casual remark, a few laughs, an unfeatured conversation about living to 150. Some believe it was a slip, revealing the mindset of leaders who view longevity as an extension of their power. Others argue it was deliberate, a subtle signal that China's organ transplant capabilities are not just medical, but geopolitical. And if that's true, then this conversation wasn't about medicine at all. It was about control, influence, and immortality, not in biology, but in legacy. So, here's what we know. China offers fast-track transplants to foreign leaders. Its military hospitals manage a system that is largely opaque. A secretive longevity project targeting 150 years has been quietly erased from public view. And now, during the live parade, two of the world's most powerful men are caught discussing living forever. So ask yourself, is this just a coincidence? Or are we catching a rare glimpse into a hidden architecture where medicine, politics, and power are far more entangled than we ever imagined? Why would a government invest in the 150-year lifespan project? Well, think beyond biology. In a political system with no term limits, longevity equals stability. If leadership continuity is seen as a pattern of national unity, then health isn't just personal, it's strategic. Here's what we are seeing. The same administration that has tightened political control, silenced internal and promoted the idea of one strong center, is also building the system to physically prolong that center's existence. That's not science fiction. That's the logic of a system that sees leadership change not as renewal, but as risk. So when Xi Jinping says, some predict humans may live to 150 this century, the question isn't whether that's medically true. The question is, why is that idea so appealing to a man with no successor? And who pays the price for making it possible? Inside China, these revelations are not easy to process or even discuss. After the September 3rd broadcast, the original video was quickly removed from CCTV's online platforms. Social media users searching for clips encountered content unavailable errors. But that hasn't stopped the questions from spreading. Many Chinese are asking, if organs are going to foreign dignitaries or political elites, what happens to the average person? A leaked 2019 WeChat ad for the 9A1 project triggered a brief firestorm online. It was quickly deleted, but not before screenshots circulated among tech-savvy users. The ad boasted that China's elites were already benefiting from regenerative medicine, aimed at lifespans of 150 years. One user asked, where do all these organs come from, and who agreed to give them? That question still hasn't been answered. And in a country where 8 million people go missing every year, not asking may be the riskiest thing of all. This is China Decoded. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share if you found this insightful. Behind the slogans, beyond the surface. Until next time, stay curious and stay informed. See you in the next briefing.